Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. Dire team ban.
Hello everyone, welcome back. Dota Pit Season 4.
Dire team
You did? Tornado.RoX versus Stark GG.
That is what we're doing. And RoX, a convincing game number 1. Game number 2 though, we're getting back into it. It looks to be a similar path as far as the drafting goes, except... Oh, sorry, I didn't get team time.
I didn't know I was going to sneeze. It was unexpected.
I doubt anyone, like... You normally get like a 1 second warning.
I was just like, huh? That happened.
I guess you missed the one I did with Cap 2 days ago, I think it was. I was in here. I barely made it to the button in time. When I sneeze, it's like some kind of tornado just starts up.
Yeah. Alright, so once again, Stark open up with the Invoker. In response, Tornado. RoX, I'm just gonna call them RoX.
Just call them RoX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know them as RoX.
You don't need Tornado in there, it's just RoX. Like, it was RoX Kiss, like, that kind of just rolled off the tongue.
Yeah, maybe it's a full sponsor thing. Maybe Tornado's some kind of accessory thing and it's necessary though.
I believe so. But
it'd be doing a disservice to their team by not adding it. So,
it's the short version. It's the short version of their team.
TorRoX? I'm gonna say TorRoX.
It's like, do you really want to call Stark Esports?
Very true.
Paul? RoX first.
So they take Oracle or Spirit?
It seems like they're taking the balanced heroes of the patch.
Yes. I don't even know if I would call... I think Earth Spirit, the more that I see of it, I would say that it's situationally imbalanced. Whereas I feel like... And when I say imbalanced, I guess it has a negative connotation for it, but I just think that it's stronger than average. I feel like that's the way that I should say it. But I think Oracle is also a hero that's stronger than average, as well as Invoker. That's why you're gonna pick those heroes first 3.
It was the Oracle and the Earth Spirit, which we saw in combination. Like, we got Nagadim's Earth Spirit and the Oracle, and they just kept the Death Prophet alive the entire time, but you just couldn't do anything. Yeah. I was in one of the earlier Dota Pit games that we had.
The long range disable is very good against Invoker too, because it's a hero that needs his space to kind of... the way that I think of whenever I see Invokers, you know, they're doing like complicated math in their head and they're sitting back and they've got to think all of it through, but then a boulder comes hurling at you at high speeds and then it flies back towards you the other way and silences you. Kind of messes with your rhythm.
And the brawler beats the mastermind.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's that image of, you know, Host, when he's just like thinking of one thing and...
Rapiers.
Yeah.
You see Resolution's tweet about that?
Yeah.
He's getting more and more clever with those things.
I like Resolution. He's a good guy. He's a really good player too. I just like mid players that are able to change their styles fluidly. The ones that are able to play the Beastmaster, which I've seen him do in the past, and then he plays the carry role in it as well, just as well. I think that kind of goes to show you the kind of dedication level. Because I don't think personally I could do that. I'm a playmaker farmer, not the S4 type where I can just self-sacrifice.
Maybe something for you to learn.
I definitely think that's the next step.
Blitzstale, Blitz path to 8k.
Yeah.
Potentially 9k.
I brag about not playing Invoker in this patch, but it's because I can't, because I use Legacy.
Use Legacy?
Just old habits. Hard.
I would have thought you'd be one of those people that would actually push people to have the most efficient setup.
I do, just not for myself. Playing heroes like that are just, it's so hard to change all your hotkeys and stuff, Invoker.
So classic, you spell Dota and you're classic Dota.
DOTA.
Cracking Capitalist, go. I'm like, well, you spell it like with the old version. I currently have the capitalized version of the Dota 2 version.
Yeah.
But why does Capitalist have so many lowercase letters in his? Does it?
Because he's a fool. But
he's not the capitalist.
He just lost a 6k recently. Can't call him a 6k caster anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that to him. He's still 6K in my heart.
I really appreciate that about Cap, by the way. No offense to anybody else,
Dire team
but
pick.
the fact that he just plays so many solo queue games, go him.
Destroys the soul, man.
Gotta do it though,
Why?
because it makes you a better player. I'm able to talk about all these mid
Radiant
matchups and
team pick.
what's strong against what, primarily because I play so many pubs.
I just feel that like I enjoy playing with other people when you can talk about strategy and you can talk about coordination kind of thing, and you actually have some kind of team goal. But in solo queue, it's hit and miss if you can actually have a goal as a team.
There isn't. It's play the best you can for yourself.
Yeah,
Self-improvement.
which is
10
weird when
seconds
you play
remaining.
such a team-orientated game. It almost feels
5
contradictory.
seconds remaining.
It is. Alright.
Let's get back to this game.
The bans have been gone through. Tornado.RoX. They've
Dire
taken
team pick.
OD, Outhouse Decorator, very strong hero in this patch currently.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Is that your way of calling him a shitter?
Yep. I just like saying variations of it. I like OD though in this meta right now. He's really fun to play. I started to notice that kind of correlation. It's like the more you have fun
10
playing a hero,
seconds
just the
remaining.
better it feels all around. And OD is a very fun hero to play.
5
I actually thought OD
seconds
would
remaining.
stay like more prominent in the meta when we first hit this patch because he was being used for his imprisonment at the time.
Reserve time.
Opposed to like kind of what he's turned into now, which is the amount of DPS.
It's hard.
But it was the support Mirana. Like you had a guaranteed arrow every single time in the mid lane.
Yeah. It just synergizes really well. Like for example, if you go Blink, Astral Imprisonment almost just works like phase shift for you, and that you can almost get away from everything. Just a nice combination. It's like an unintended side effect, or maybe Ice Frog knew that's how it was going to be used in the first place, anyways. But
Insanely low maneuver, like
because that's the issue with the hero is that it doesn't really have a lot of mobility.
Yeah.
Once you get gone on, you just kind of get blown up. But now you've got a
Radiant
lot of
team
different ways to play around.
on pickup now.
Yeah.
You got so much survivability again over on Rocks. Like if it wasn't like with just the Witch Doctor and Oracle before, now you got a healing ward combined with everything the Oracle offers. Mechanisms that are offered by Oracle as well as OD, even Earth Spirit in the later portion of the game. Just Earth Spirit in general. And he can just boulder into the mid
10
and
seconds
allow OD
remaining.
just to beat the living crap out of him, imprison him, and then Earth Spirit actually. What is the
5
cooldown timer on that?
seconds
Can he go
remaining.
for another one?
It just feels like
Still
Tornado.
16 seconds, but in the later stage it's like 4 seconds for.
Yeah, Tornado.RoX,
Dire
they're just
team
really
back.
strong at. From what I saw, like I've only seen, to be apparent, I've only seen them play that last game. That was like the first experience that I've had with them. I've seen these players individually, of course, but I haven't seen them play as a group yet. This is like the
10
old VP,
seconds
right?
remaining.
You even
Yeah.
see that BZZ still using like the VP logo as
5
his
seconds
Steam
remaining.
icon. But
They never really left it behind.
Reserve time.
It's a full circle of the CIS shop.
I think that their 5-man style
10
was incredibly
seconds
strong last game,
remaining.
being able to set up their safe lane and then get our Zeke to roll around
5
as
seconds
much as possible.
remaining.
But
we
start.
should probably look a little bit further towards the Stark lineup
Radiant
now.
team
Yes.
back.
Like, with Shaman on the field, it was banned out against them in the last game. Now they got the opportunity to have him for his timing pushes with the Mass Serpent Wads. But how effective are you really going to be as Stark for those pushes? Like, I'm seeing a lot of control coming out from their
10
supports,
seconds remaining.
and wave clearance is pretty damn good as well. Can you really
5
force anything
seconds
against
remaining.
Roxkiss's lineup?
Yeah, you can. I think
Reserve
Jugs are
time.
kind of just used as a general counter to heroes like Gyrocopter. Bane and Shadow Shaman. Shadow Shaman is one of the better heroes at just flat pushing safely, which is pretty critical to this meta right now. You've got Forge Spirits plus the Shadow Shaman wards. You're going to be able to take objectives pretty cleanly. Like, you don't have to hard commit anything, which is really important. On the other side of things, you've got a Bane that is one of the better heroes at just trading out. A very tanky support. It's hard to burst him down. Pretty good against Oracle in this regard. You can just sleep him down or survive through a lot of his nuke burst.
That are really gonna be the last one. Rocks do need.
10 seconds remaining.
They can't need an initiator. Of everything that's there.
Hey, they've got
5
they
seconds remaining.
They have Earth Spirit, but you're pretty correct here.
Radiant team pick.
The hero who was in that last game got avoided this game. Spirit Breaker was also.
I think Spirit Breaker is a lot harder to execute this time around. You talked about the Sven stun, but it's not really reliable, especially if he comes at you from an angle. There's almost no time, because there's a windup. You have to see him coming cleanly. If you don't have vision and he charges at you, there's not a whole lot that you can do.
10
What do you get if you
seconds
start
remaining.
GG? Beastmaster was sitting on the edge of him last time around.
5
Like,
seconds
he
remaining.
was the 5th ban by RoX Kits, I believe, in the last game. So it's 5th ban of Star.
Reserve time. 10
But they couldn't run him as an
seconds
offlaner.
remaining.
I feel like Beastmaster gets blown up every single time here.
5 seconds remaining.
Ooh, Sandkungan.
At least another element of team fight. It adjusts nicely with the gyrocopter, good initiation range, ability to actually dodge the attacks. RoX with that sandstorm. The only one that's really going to cause him problems to get out of the sandstorm is anyone with like AoE damage or like, stun-wise it's Earth Spirit.
I have some minor concerns about this pickup, but I guess we'll see. 'Cause I think he's going to struggle a little bit to just flat out lane. And I don't think this is a lane that you want to just give up, because I think it'll allow the Oracle too much space to run around like he
Prepare
did
for
last time.
battle.
But you see his item build already.
Yeah, that's...
Like you want to give up or not, he's now got 9 talents, so he could just sit and farm this camp as much as he wants to, then soak up the lane experience when it's down.
This is what you do in a situation where you don't think you can lane it all. Kind of agree with this idea. I can't remember who I saw the other day. I think it was Cinderin when they were playing against DC. He just decided to do this on Slardar. I think this is the right idea. If you don't believe you can contest your lane at all, then just grab some Iron Talon.
Like how whenever Yell plays his Earth Spirit, he does this kind of thing. You don't burn a TP to get that Observer Ward down inside the radiant anymore.
Ooh, he's eating all the trees. Ooh,
30 seconds to battle.
I like this.
You gonna cut a path out, or like, it's like he's making new escape paths.
Get more efficient to get around.
I love how the Iron Talon does work that way. It's a little bit deceptive though when you look at it, because the Iron Talon says it's got a 14-second cooldown, but that's only
The
when you use it
battle
against
begins.
creeps.
Oh, this is pretty big. You're gonna get both bounty runes. Oh. I think Nahaz said it was like 57% win rate if you got both. Not that.
Oh, you may even get. Well, I don't know if you're gonna get
He's
first
not gonna
blood
get first
here.
blood.
He's at least gonna get a lot of chip damage on top of Boogie.
Is he? Ghostic might just
He
die
needs to
here.
get down the ramp and then start off with the shackles. Now he's
No,
going
he's
the
dead.
barrage with the Sunstrike kicking in. 06, yep, there's first blood going the way of the gyrocopter.
That is incredibly surprising that he decided to do that trade. I think he anticipated the gyro being further away because they went for that top rune, but still that was surprising. Oh, this is a cool move mid.
Oh, that was a little early from Yol, but Valix
Oh,
tries
they
to
messed
run
it
it
up.
out. They need a little bit more damage, however, and they don't have it.
He was... I didn't think they were going to need it, but he's so tanky on Bane that it ended up making a difference.
The Boulder Smash.
Uh,
A rolling ball.
that was it, yeah, because he needs the slow. It's an 80% slow for 2 seconds. That would have been more than enough. Alright, go Trixie.
How many times do you see a Caustic Finale level up first for a Sand King?
He needed to get the stack off though, for this to be even better. But he's gonna get his free level 2 off of it.
Can I come up with a Burrow Strike? You still got the Brain Sap, so Yol's lost a lot of life here. He did actually skill up the Burrow Strike.
Without sleep though, there's no setup.
Been spending a lot of time making sure this Invoker's got some kind of presence in this lane.
Oh, this is a huge wave at bottom though. I think he has to connect the wave right now. If he doesn't, you're gonna give up a little bit too much farm to the Tusk. The Tusk has to do this correctly.
Pull the aggro back over.
Yeah.
Oh, but with the shackles
Oh,
going down,
beautiful.
Ghostic can't do anything. Control from Boogie.
Really well done. That would have been a full level and a half.
Gonna burn the salve. Just to be able to leech a lot of the experience, however.
Still, you would have rather had like a full creep wave and a half for free XP. That's the stuff that gets me excited, man. Good support play. Not the big flashy plays for me. Just like to see good effort like that.
Do you always have to cut this tree in order to do the pull?
No. It's just a lot easier. Because otherwise, the creep wave has to come around. And this isn't even really going to be a pull. It's not connected to anything. It's just delaying it.
It stops the radiant creep wave from coming underneath the tower, however.
It's going to push anyways because there's so many creeps. Is the one downside of this. This is going to be 10 creep push. What you're going to see Boogie do is try to zone out. He should see this ward though coming. Unless he places it behind the tower, that'd be really smart.
Dire's
Oh,
bottom
he just
tower is
goes
under
directly.
attack.
He hasn't placed anything yet.
You see what he's doing though? He's trying to zone out because he knows that they pushed in the wave. So what he's trying to do is make it so that he doesn't get any of this experience. That's why you see the gyrocopter skin with him. This is really good by them.
You'll rotate it over too. If they get these shackles, they can have enough burst damage with both Brain Stab as well as the Rocket Barrage. Not only can they kill off the rotating Earth Spirit, but they've done really significant damage to this tier 1 tower.
Dire's
Yeah,
bottom
and you notice
tower
that the Tusk
is
hasn't
under
gotten
attack.
barely any of the experience for this. These are the tiny plays that you don't think about, you don't think twice about, but they matter a lot. How they're zoning them out, they're making a good job of it. They even get a kill off the rotation. They almost take down this tier 1 tower uncontested. And that's the thing is that if you look at Tornado.RoX's lineup, they don't have a mid hero like a Puck or a Bat that can rotate in case they get over aggressive, or a Queen of Pain. They've got an OD who's pretty static, and so getting pressure on this tower early is really important. Then they can rotate in for BZZ and make his life a little bit harder. All of these moves just kind of add up, Toby.
Well, Dota to watch. Keep my eye now on Trixie. We talked about like pretty much all the other lanes. Trixie, he's getting a lot of farm up here, but Seedoy is by far leading the CS. Like he's 25 for 12, 25 13 right now. So he's keeping the lane throttled nicely. And looks like Rotzki's going to rotate themselves up the top lane. They're searching for a kill on Trixie. Now he's got Burrow Strike, Sandstorm, as well as TP. The chance of them killing him here should be quite low.
They don't have Boulder Smash either. I don't think this is possible.
But at level 2, it's...
They've got 2 range creeps too. And the wave's gonna push in. Trixie's gonna be pretty happy about this.
Get a little bit more support coming top now. Barlix. Trying to soak up the experience while Trixie's doing his farming. They did get back off. So now your Caustic Finale is going to do something. Even if it is just level 1.
OD's doing pretty well in this mid lane. That's pretty interesting. He decides to only go for the 2 levels of the Essence Aura. I thought you needed the 3rd, but...
You'd actually stop at 3? Like, do you not need the 4th?
You need 4, but you can do 2 on 2 is pretty common. It's just interesting to see this order, I guess. Alex is trying to can't get firm.
Yeah, Trixie's just too low.
That was a good team effort. Only downside is they split XP there. Trixie desperately needs it.
Alex, though, is quite happy to have it. Having extra points up in his you can control.
Trixie's definitely learned his lesson from game 1. He's like, okay, I'm gonna respect the power of the Oracle, just try to get safe levels. This is definitely the right idea this time around. Don't give kills. Because that impacted things a lot. The fact that the Oracle had Arcane Boots into the Aether Lens really quickly. Like 4-minute Arcane Boots or something like that, because he had so many kills on Trixie, and that was a lot of free XP too. It allowed them to rotate in on that Invoker a lot. But by doing a lot better in this off lane, and in the safe lane, they've been able to get more out of their Invoker than they did the first time around.
You're in a position like this, like, okay, Ghost is going to make the choice anyway. Like, the question was going to be, do you deny the tower or leave it? And then the other question would be on the other side of the fence. Should the Stark been
Dire's
aware of
bottom
that?
tower has been
No,
denied.
I don't think that it's that big for Stark. You have to deny it though in that position, because Stark's just going to take it 30 seconds later anyways. Pretty good denial of gold right now. Trixie's up here. He knows that the Juggernaut's quite far away, so he's pretty comfortable with this.
I get a little bit pissed off, and Oracle's actually going to get trapped. Burrow Strike down, Sunstrike's in a great position. Just held him there, Nymphy. A level 3 Sunstrike. Help kill secure.
That was brutal.
Like a lot more stable game for them. That Midas timing won't be as delayed.
Yeah, the first time around it was just... Again, it just came down to the offlane. If your offlane is getting contested that hard, and you're doing that well already, it allows the support to rotate and help out the mid quite a bit. So it's really important that the offlaner doesn't die that often, because it's a chain reaction of things.
Cito's got no mana. If Varley's
might
gonna
just get
start with a
slept.
Nightmare, oh, you could see him try it. Like with the Nightmare, they could just follow up into a Sunstrike Brainstab, and Cito would have been dead.
Yes, that would have been sick. It's enough damage too. 287. He had 400 at that point, and that's a level 2 Brainstab. Yep. That would have been more than enough to get the kill.
Zeke's worked it out though, and instantly dewards the Observer. Yol, however, he's in a little bit more world of hurt. There's your Nightmare.
Believe this is her
Sunstrike's
death.
coming in, and it doesn't even require anything else. When you think about it, with the amount of damage that comes out from the Bane, like how many heroes can Bane just kill the second he Nightmares them? When you take into account the damage which comes from Sunstrike and Brainstab.
Pretty significant. It's like a 500 damage nuke for all. Oh, at top.
There's no, he can consume the Mango, but now with the creep wave arriving, it's not as useful.
This is a
Trixie
pretty
realized
significant rotation too.
considering you pulled Cito out of the jungle and you put BZZ from the mid lane.
Yeah, but they're gonna contest this top tower. That's why. I don't think you can just get away.
Mid at the same time.
Oh boy.
Like Boogie's got Mass Serpent Wars, they're ready to not only take this kill over on Yol, support's coming in. Sunstrikes can be split up a little bit, but the Mass Serpent Wars down right on top of the tower. Support will TP in, the shards won't lock anyone out. You got no flat cannons, no easy quick damage there, but you're already losing armor on the OD thanks to the Forge Spirits.
This is an awkward engagement right now for
Structures are fortified.
RoX. They don't really... They have to kill down these wards first. And
A little too long though.
maybe engage after. The Juggernaut is TPing in for this. If they could get Whisper, I think they got him. They might not even need it. Look at the damage.
So you take out the Gyrocopter, but you've still now lost your tier 1 mid and your tier 1 bottom, and it was taken out by the Radiant side, that tier 1 tower in mid.
Yeah, the bottom was denied though a while ago. It's fine.
Yeah. And overall, it means the gold advantage is now stretching over 2k for Stark. The experience is still swinging a little bit.
Kind of knew this would happen, and RoX weren't going to push in the safe lane because it would have given the Sand King a lot of free XP. Because their kill potential isn't quite there. The kind of tri-lane that they have. Purge is okay against the Sand King, but there's almost no way that the Juggernaut's going to get close enough, right? Without them having dust or something like that. But even then, it's a risky kill for a lot of experience. So it wasn't as easy for them to just push in the tower and take it like they did at bottom. RoX just kind of have to play a little bit more defensively in general because of the type of heroes that they have. So for them to take tier 1 towers early is going to be a little bit more of a struggle. They have to get levels on their heroes, and then team fights are going to be where they kind of get it back. Once you've got the False Promise, you've got the Earth Spirit ultimate, which is incredibly strong this game. There's no mech, so to speak of.
Still concerned about Roskis keeping players alive during these team fights. The pick-off potential of Stark is just too much. It's just too good. Like top lane, Sunstrike, Brainsap, Mahalo, and Oracle gonna have to false promise himself. Stay alive.
But that's okay.
Meanwhile in mid, ZZ caught out.
Oh no.
Looks like the Burrow Strike from Trixie went to work, and BZZ will end up going down.
That is a really significant kill.
Directly up for Invoker, just completed his Hand of Midas as well.
Yeah.
He's going to start to stretch ahead of that OD's position on the map, net worth-wise.
The OD can't really afford that. The Invoker did a really good job too. He rotated between the jungle a lot, made himself a hard target to find, Tornado, and by the time, they started to try to get aggressive on him, Stark was ready for the 5-man, and they're utilizing the Bane really well. This is a hero that's not easy again to kill. He's level 6, he's got almost 800 HP, Fairy Fire and a wand, Brainstab level 3. It's incredibly easy for him to just open up because he's got such high move speed and set up kills for Nemphy across the map. They've been doing so, like you pointed out.
I'm gonna set up more. That Blink Dagger. Boogie's already managed to get this is an under 12
this
minute
is so
Blink
fast.
Dagger on a Shaman.
It's not just that, he's got arcane boots. Yeah.
They made sure of it too, like they made sure he got the last hit in that top tier 1 tower just so they could achieve this. So BZZ,
Oh, he's gonna have no idea.
It's a straight blink to Hex and actually goes directly for the Shackles instead. They commit the Fiend's Grip here, hit the Shock to Valve as well. There's no Sunstrike kicking in, but they don't even need it. Yol's now going to arrive, he lets the Magnetize off, but He's already been nightmared up. He's burning up a little bit, and now I actually look for.
Hey, he might just be
on strike. Is he dead?
Oh no, he's okay. Oh. Alright, you're gonna have to guess if you want to go for this, but on the other side there is a fight happening.
And Tuskar snowballed in. They caught out the Bane. The Burrow Strike from Trixie didn't actually stun up the Tuskar. The Tuskar's still right behind him, and there's no Burrow Strike available or Sandstorm just yet, but they're coming underneath the tower. Cedo's got the opportunity, but no. Trixie, try and move it. Go into the tree line. The Observer Ward's up on the hillside, so Cedo can see everything. But he still doesn't want to commit this level 1 Omni Slash. Doesn't feel like he can get a kill, but Boogie, now they try and return it. The cooldown's there, Boogie, he's so low. The damage from Zeke, it wasn't enough to initially get the kill, but they still did the work. The more work being done by a Stark. Tuskar snowballs back in again. Burrow Strike, 1 second. Trixie goes for it with the brain tap damage again from Varlix. It's just so huge, allowing Stark to just finish the job on these heroes, one after the other. Now 10-4, and what was a 1-for-3 trade-off.
Really sick play by Boogie. He waits in the corner right there in the side shop area, sets up for that perfectly. He knows he's gonna die. He has 300 HP, but he's like, okay, I can at least get this Juggernaut in response. And he's already got the items that he needs. So he's got his Blink, he's got Arcane Boots. There's not a whole lot that he has to save up for anymore. So he decides, okay, I'm gonna play a little bit of the self-sacrifice game, initiate in for my team behind the Jug. There's nothing that they can do. They get 2 free kills, especially on the core that they desperately needed to, because it's not easy for them to kill this Jug. Any opportunity that you find is going to be fairly significant, and what looked like such a good start for Tornado.RoX in that fight just completely turns around by Stark.
And now you got Stark with another opportunity for initiation.
Got a second blink.
Another hidden blink dagger is over on Trixie. He doesn't have the level 2 epicenter, but you're still 14 minutes in with the level 4 Burrow Strike. You're looking for those kills. I'm actually interested to see Trixie's build as well. Do you want to go in for just the Ether Lens at this point, or is it worthwhile going in for the Ags?
The Ags is really good, I think, as a setup. You could even go in for the, what is that item called?
Veil?
Yeah, Veil. I was thinking it's like a cape, but it's not Glimmer Cape. The Veil of Discord, yeah.
All right.
It would help them do so much damage for their entire team across the board. It would help their entire team for somebody to get it at least.
They really do have so much magical damage.
Yeah. So they're gonna smoke. This is to establish, set up for another kill. You got wards up, right? You don't want to just headlong push. You want to try to get a pick off. They're gonna get one.
Perfect timing. The Observer Board gets placed, and they saw Zeke Boogie. He was almost in range for it. The Burrow Strike's still on cooldown for now, and now he actually reaches with the shackle. That distance is so huge. Whoa. He must be worried about that
I think that was,
promise.
That might have been a little bit of a... He was dead.
We're talking about the Fiend script, by the way.
Yeah, he was dead. It was a little bit of an overkill, but now they're going to be able to go high ground if they want.
Yeah, you still got the mass.
Oh, this is so bad for them right now.
He hexes Zedoy. He's able to shackle up y'all. The snowball will break y'all free, and Boogie, can he actually survive this when they nightmare over on the Tuskar? RoX has just fed them more kills. You talk about going high ground. When you got this many players, and they Sunstrike, Burrow Strike forward from Trixie. There goes your Omni Slash kill. Finally, Shadow Shaman's going to die.
They really need to kill
Trixie. Makes a break for the tree line, and they will get him. Oracle will end the spree. Huge amount of money for him, and this does stop the Stark push because they just chased the kill too far.
They were able to conserve their wards, so that would have been a really good opportunity if they were able to nab both kills. Free, and then lay down the wards with the Forge Spirits. You might have been able to do maybe 3/4, almost all of the tower damage. Then you go for Roshan, go for the high ground shortly after that. But by being able to hold there, really significant for them. I'm really liking the way that Stark is playing this game around, though. The mixed aggression with not having to force the wards, just going straight for the fights, look for the pickoffs, and then you can go for the tower pushes, is making this really successful. They might be out of smokes now, though. I saw them use 2 consecutively. Yeah, the next 6 minutes are going to be a little bit empty for them. So it's important that they establish a lot of control here so that they can get things like the uncontested Roshan. RoX, though, this is the first time they're going to get aggressives in such a long time. And this is a really daring move by them. They're just trying to get somebody and get out. They don't have any other cores with them.
Problem is they're going to walk.
Oh, this might be a little bit disastrous.
All of Stark Varlix can't get his nightmare off. They will end up dying. Nemfi actually doesn't have a move, like maneuverability item, so he has to TP back out. They're slowed down. They dust, but he gets the TP under the cover of the fog of the pit. But then into mid lane, the initiation on Cedo is going to be off by Trixie. Off by that wonderful spin time.
That was a little bit surprising that Stark should get into a fight. In hindsight, it's because I had all the vision in the world, right?
Yeah.
I don't have Fog of War, so I know that it's only 3 non-core heroes. So for me, I'm just like, okay, you should take that fight, but obviously Stark was like, okay, that might be a 5-man engagement, why even bother? Just leave the Bane, ditch him.
You have that mindset too if you're a player, like you're looking at it and you've got to be knowing you're in a really commanding position in this game if you're Stark. And the Roskers have to go for something that's a little bit more risky. Like a 3-man non-core gank, that seems a little... like it's not really destined to succeed.
Yeah.
So you got to assume it's going to be all 5.
By the way, most of the time I'll refer to 3 position as a core as well, just in this game it's a little bit different, because it's a Tusk that's incredibly underfarmed. It's almost like he's more of a 4 position this game.
Well, there's more farm over on the Shadow Shaman than there is on him.
Yeah, exactly.
You actually look at the net worth and Tuskar sitting at the 4.
Radiant's
They've actually got
bottom
3
tower is
players
under
below
attack.
3.5k net worth.
Oh, Trixie's in... his invis just breaks. He knows they're all here. He's pinging out for his team. They want to set up for this fight. This would be such a good epicenter if they don't find him.
Can they find him? Like, process of elimination, you gotta work out where he is.
Okay, this is... oh man, I'm just watching Trixie right now. This could be absolutely massive.
This is like classic Jimmy players right now. Just stay in the trees and never let them know you're there.
Okay, so they're gonna bait out the Roshan. This might be RoX's opportunity to... they're like, okay, this is a Roshan attempt. Kind of have to contest
Here comes
this.
Trixie.
Okay!
Tara strike through, he jumps forward, he got the Hex over on the OD with the Snowball. It offers some level of protection, but the Earth Spirit is down. With a price of the Shadow Shaman, but it's a double kill right now for the Gyrocopter. His DD might have worn off while he was inside the pit, but Ross gets baited into it as a triple kill, and they're setting up for the quad kill. Oracle, the Rocket Barrage, in fact, Nymphy is going to steal it. But it's still a 4-man for 0 trade-off, and they'll go down and finish up Roshan now.
Man, I'm having so much fun watching Stark play this one. It was a beautiful trap. Really well done to collapse on top of that.
The only one they saw, though, with the Observer Ward was the Juggernaut. He was the only one visible. Everyone else was inside the Fog of War, but they just went for it.
Massive fight for them. They take down Roshan. This should lead to a tier 2 push. They don't have wards quite yet, but with 50 seconds down, they don't really need it for the tier 2 tower at bottom. Then when it refreshes up, they could go for the high ground, if they so choose.
Kind of crazy that Stark had that level of confidence too, where Roshan was so low, yet you still went into the fight.
You take the fight first in that position, because they weren't going to get a better positioning than that, where Trixie was able to flank their entire team. Good vision overall, though, by RoX, as they spot a lot of the heroes with this mid ward. Their warding game has been pretty strong this game. It was just unfortunate.
The lens is up for Trixie. This initiation range is going to get better, and that warding game you're talking about is going to become a lot harder for RoX. The Gem of True Sight now being bought by the Bane.
It's a good item when you're in a commanding position. It's the one item that can really change the fate. If you're Tornado.RoX, you have to play a little bit greedy with how you farm and how you push out. But when you've got all the ward vision in the game taken away from you and you're playing against a Bane, a Sand King, and a Shadow Shaman, it's incredibly scary. Because you have no idea what's going on. Even your Juggernaut can die at that point.
It's the same 3-man smoke gank again.
They spotted the Bane with vision too. Pretty big.
Portion of Vivalix, he's flying that gem out to himself right now, and he walked straight over the top of that Observer Ward.
There's no split push going on right now. I think this is probably Stark's opportunity. Just go for a straight up fight.
Seem about right. I think every time Mass up towards the off cooldown, you want to be using them to push anyway, right?
Mid.
Oh wow, did he just...
Trixie used his ultimate for that. The weird thing is they had vision of him too. He just didn't anticipate dying as fast as he did.
But he can get his spin off.
I mean, that's
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
400 damage nuke from his ulti, or from the Sunstrike on top of the 500 that you get from the SK ult stun.
Radiant's top tower
There's not
is
a whole
under
lot
attack.
that you can do. That's what we're talking about. If you don't... The weird thing is though, they had vision of that. They probably just didn't anticipate quite yet what would happen.
Paris just taking so much nuke damage. Then Trixie, blink, Forest Strike, and y'all protected. BGZ with that imprisonment, but Boogie again, so aggressive on his blinks. Trying to keep that Oracle out and stopping the false promise.
This is such a good fight.
Magnetized right now. Can they have enough damage to finish the job? Because the Aegis Immortal is triggered. The jar comes up, but he got locked in with the shards. They're gonna lose 3, potentially more. Trixie is home safe, and so is Nemphy. The Master from wants to get farmed up, and what did you really get? You took an Air Spirit out and a tier 3 tower. 3 very big heroes.
Aegis cheese, and probably more importantly than that, is that freshly picked up gem? That's a full mech now, completed for the Oracle. That was not the fight that they wanted to take.
I'm wondering why they did take it. I'm also wondering why you're not just harassing from range, like using your combos, which you've proven work so well, because Boogie blinked himself up to here. Like, he went in behind the racks as that shaman, looking for an opening. It's like you're a shaman who's only now just picked up his point booster. Not really that tanky. But if you Ether Shock spray from range, you wait for the OD imprisonment to take out the target which they initiated on to start with, like...
I think that was the first real pickup that I've seen so far from Stark. Is that I think Boogie's been one of their MVPs of this game, how he's been able to set up. But that play right there cost them more than it should have.
And they fought with that epi.
Completely right there. They should have just been able to take down the tower and then establish high ground control.
Yep.
But
it just seemed odd. It's like you've got the confidence of the Aegis, the Immortal, as well as the rest of the engagements happening during this game so far.
I think that was the issue. It was that they were too confident in the Aegis. They didn't think that Rox would take that fight. But they were able to get a lot of abilities off. Yol's initiation was absolutely massive for them. On top of that, the combo from the Invoker landed on an empty target because they were able to OD Astral him.
Yeah. A lot of little hiccups that have caused one big problem. And now Stark, well, they're pushing through the top lane now. Nemphy does have his level 2 Necro books available. They just lost their Radiant Creep Wave and they're being attacked on the bottom. The TPs are coming in. Cedo is instantly going to back up. Varlix is the first one in. Primarily because they're looking for his disable to hold Cedo in position. They see the spin, can the vision come up so they can Fiend's Grip? Oh!
He's got him in base.
Wait, what?
Oh, I haven't seen that before.
How does that even work? Like, it should interrupt you.
That is... Okay. Let's just blame it on Dota Reborn.
That shouldn't happen.
I thought he Fiend Script a creep or something.
Yeah, that's where my mindset went to as well. I'm like, wait, hang on. And then you look around, like, wait, there's no creeps which currently have the purple goo on them.
Yeah, that is... that sucks. It must have been like half a second after, and then the game just read it as
actually latched.
That's just weird. I don't think I've seen that before. For that spell, anyways. I've seen some follow through, but I remember in Dota 1 you could charge or you could use the Spirit Breaker ulti, follow people into the fountain. But
yeah, that got patched out.
Thank God. That was clowny.
Well, it's hilarious that wouldn't have happened. Clowns are funny people.
Maybe they get a free kill here?
Enough Ghost moves back up again, but she does do so. His Invis, start with the shock, follow up with the shackles, and the Sunstrike a little bit further north, so it made sure it wouldn't hit the creep wave, but still in range of the Tusker.
Oh, and mid. They don't have Fiend's Grip. This might be a little bit too difficult for them.
Don't you get the Blink Hex off, which, like, most of these ganks are possible?
Boogie should just lay down the wards.
Tusker for a while.
Yeah.
But BKB on the Jericho might make this a little bit easier for him. Now a lot of that damage, like, it relies on the Juggernaut to do most of it. He just got Hex, definitely blasted. They false promise very early on Seatoy. So it's down, but your Necrobooks as well as your Mouse Serpent Wards have achieved what you came here for. Took out the melee racks and done considerable damage to the range.
It's so hard to defend against that. Was that level 3 Necro? Yeah, it was a level 3 Necro book plus Force Spirits plus wards. It doesn't even matter if your entire team's there. So now your Invoker got his Blink Dagger so he can follow up on the initiations. Almost an Aghanim's Scepter fully completed onto Boogie. Once that happens, it just gets harder and harder for them to hold these. You got the level 2 wards too. RoX can't allow this to happen. You can't just allow your towers to be passively taken out. That's kind of what I was expecting the first time around for Stark to do when they had the Aegis. Yep. Take down the tower through slow sieging and then push uphill with the Aegis the next time around.
Positioning second time around was a lot better.
Yeah, exactly.
Like none of them were really in any kind of peril. Like the gyrocopter was probably the biggest one.
Oh, this is huge. They know they're there with this ward.
They need the opening though.
They're gonna get it.
BKB still there for the gyrocopter. He'll trigger it. The shards. I thought for a moment will block him now, but they snowball over the top. That isolates Seedoy as well as Ghostic, and they want to try and keep fighting here. The gyrocopter. Now another rock barrage. The Sunstrike. Oh, the imprisonment from BTC. Barely protecting his core, his support, but they're able to do it. And now Varlix also on the run. Trixie coming back in again with the epicenter. No mana for a Fire Strike, however, so he's trapped. But Nemphy, now he tries to play it. They're coming in one by one here, Stark. Boogie's trying to run away. Ghostic will have a crack at him. And now actually shackled up. Nemphy will drop. There, Stark have just lost almost everything. Boogie even got perfectly sharded by Ghostic as he tried to run himself away. Snowball's back off cooldown, so Boogie will die. And it is an entire team wipe by Roxkiss, and they lost the Oracle and the Earth Spirit for it.
55 stolen by this OD. And that fight was insane. They start for a second, they thought they could hold long enough with the gyrocopter, but he was almost completely alone. Then Trixie triggers his ultimate and sees a good position, but he's just outside of range. And on top of that, he doesn't have his stun mana. He's like 10 mana short. And Start just kind of falls apart there. They decided to take the fight one by one. They probably thought they were a lot further ahead than they were. They sacrificed way too many. Once you lost your gyrocopter, I think that's disengage time. Yeah. The time that they used for Trixie to go in, if they just used to run away, then at most they lose one hero. And then you can reset from that because that's a 5-man smoking. But by committing one by one like that, Stark just throws away a lot of momentum.
I'm wondering if Stark even thought they could disengage. You looked at their positioning, those shard blocks from Ghostix really caused problems. In fact, that was obviously the reason why the Shaman got caught out.
This Roshan comes up right now. Oh, this would be... It just respawned as they walked in.
So the Sunstrike from Stark will scout it out, so there will be a contest for him. Trixie actually already used his Blink Dagger to get over to the rest of his team. Are they grouping for a smoke? Okay, they take out the Sigil. Yeah, they're grouping up for a smoke. RoX move into their comfortable position, which is actually the Radiant jungle right now.
They take their own high ground.
I like this obs position. You're not going to see it even if they do have the jam over on Stark, which they don't.
Kings are coming out.
It's too late.
Both teams are just taking high ground position.
on the opposite sides of the map.
Yeah. Pretty funny. They just kind of swap spots. The smokes.
Courier fly out. Okay.
Do they have ward vision up here? No, they don't.
No, it's only the sentry, which will deward. Obviously, they don't know that yet. Funny thing is, though, Stark actually has a sentry ward.
Oh, maybe Stark just rushes for this. This would be so funny. They just decided to try to take the Rex. Oh my god, that's what they're gonna go for.
Units messed up, further down. RoX and team being back. Why play around Roshan when you've got the minions to do the work?
Oh, that was so funny.
And now they can turn around and try and take the fight, but the next unit's expanded. Nice shackles. That's the play from Boogie, keeping him in position with the Deathling Blast back. The Earth Spirit is down. The Epi actually completely ineffective. The Seedoy just is in Omniflash the entire time. Triggers the BKB, tries to work against that gyrocopter. Now Seedoy locked inside the Phoenix Symbolic. He'll actually have that cancelled by the imprisonment. As OD now just drops the ulti. Shaman's down. Nemphy will join him. Varlix will be very close behind. The imprisontment's back off cooldown so they can stop the TP out from the Bane. They thought for a moment they could just nuke him down instead. There goes Varlix. Meanwhile, back in the middle lane, it was a tier 3 tower that was taken. The bottom lane, the range racks will be taken up by the creep wave, which had its momentum. But Stark, bit by bit, they are chipping away at RoX.
Just like, that mad dash was so funny. They're just like, okay guys, can't really take this Roshan fight. It's super awkward, but just listen up. If we just go straight for this, there's no way. Imagine if they were just a little bit farther, RoX. Potentially done that, but
that's when you wait for the Cloud9 moment. No TPs from Roxkiss, they just lose everything.
The problem though is now you've hit this really awkward spot, Toby, where this OD hits way too hard. Yeah, he's got BKB too, and there's almost nothing that you can do that cuts through that. The physical damage just isn't there. The gyrocopter's built largely defensive. He needs some sort of DPS item, and now that the OD has the Aegis of the Immortal,
he's also got a Scythe of Vice too.
Yes, this all just makes it so hard for them to fight into.
It's almost the point where when you ask yourself the question, like, do you just avoid the fight? The bottom wave keeps pushing and you finish the Aghanim Scepter over on the Shadow Shaman. can you, like, no one's got BTs to hero?
Nemphy's also, instead of going for the Aghanims or anything like that, or BKB, he went for the Necronomicon. They committed a lot to this push. And your Gyrocopter doesn't have MKB, butter, or anything like that. He's largely got defensive items like we talked about. He's going to go for what looks like a Scotty. And once he has this, again, it's not really dealing too much right-click damage. At the same time, though, Stark have to be aggressive. Committed so much of this build for this kind of bum rush fight. You're running into an OD that's incredibly strong, has an Aegis.
You can at least catch him while his Eclipse is down. You don't have the big AoE damage.
Yeah, that thing is 4 or 5 hits on the target, then he drops that, it's enough. This might be RoX's opportunity, though.
Only if they can catch up to Trixie. Cedoid, I guess one of the few times you don't see a Juggernaut go a Blink Dagger build. He just went pure stats. The Observer Ward, Boogie, okay. He blinks out. There's no gem with him as Trixie again. Like, he's throwing down the Lotus Orb. He actually gets force-staffed himself into that smash. And Trixie, the Omni Slash, he can't burrow, he can't do anything. Down for 70 seconds. Boogie's looking for some revenge. Can't force-staff him up. Now the Sunstrike's going to kick in. It actually splits the damage out. The force-staff from Varlix will end up saving Boogie. The bottom lane again is starting to push out. RoX, they can at least take now this tier 1 tower. 33 minutes this tower has managed to survive. Yeah, the pings are coming out saying, guys, look down at bottom. This is what I wonder if it's worth it for a Shaman to do exactly what he's doing. Just blink in, drop the wards, and take the racks. There's no fortification, so he could do this.
He's got to be so careful, though. Losing the gem here.
Varlix is got out.
Dire's middle barracks are
Drops
under
the wards,
attack.
the range racks are being attacked.
It's okay, it was a space creation move.
Yep.
Dire's middle barracks.
And every time, like, he can do this. You see how much damage the Mass Serpent was doing. The Necro books as well as the Forge Fish attacking the tier 3 towers. Like, even when you do get the 2 picks, which is nice, let's make it 3 because Nemphy.
The OD is a little bit strong.
You can just keep playing behind the lines.
You have to. I don't think going into a 5-man fight is ideal anymore. Because we've seen time and time again what happens when Stark takes an ideal fight. They're not able to win out. They had some really good moments like the Roche fight, but then they kind of threw away that advantage. I guess saying throwing it away is a little bit bad. I'd say they just got a little bit too overconfident paired with the fact that RoX finally got the full ultimate off from the Magnetize. That made all the difference in the world.
You can't really blame a team though. Like when you're sitting there and you've already got such an advantage, like you wanna make sure you hold that advantage.
Yeah, they just had to be a little bit more disciplined for that opening engagement. Because now it's costing them. Because every single subsequent fight that they take, it takes a little bit more out of them, and they're not getting as much as they used to.
Yep.
And now it's on RoX to kind of get more aggressive here. You're gonna leave the Tusk behind so that he can push out this bottom wave, but this Juggernaut and this OD, you want to try to play aggressive with them because you don't want to always have to be on your side of the map defending against these split pushes, Toby. The top wave isn't pushed in hard enough. You've got the mid one going. This is one of your better opportunities, but here comes old Shadow Shaman.
I'm wondering if Boogie is like, obviously the Tuskars now come back. But if you're Boogie, do you get BTs here, or do you think about building into a Refresher Orb? Because Refresher Orb would almost let you guarantee
Refresher.
take out a Rax. But if you have BTs, you can play the split push game better.
Refresher would be sick. Refresher would guarantee you a set of racks. I don't think RoX have the attack speed to deal with 2 sets of wards.
At least got the catch out now. That Blink Dagger, which I said only we have on a Juggernaut, he's got that.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
That's a courier. There's 0 net worth though on it.
Just funny because it had 2 TV scrolls on it. Boogie is just hiding.
Regeneration!
You know what this reminds me of? You remember first Tornado MLG Pro League series? And we had AUI as well as also NIP were doing their leader strats.
Yeah.
And AUI just started doing this hide inside the tree line, just creep, skip it out. Because they're fighting right now. The Boogie wants to jump in through mid. Now there is fortification. Trixie gets the hell out of there. Boogie as well.
Dire's
That Centaur's
top tower
done.
is under attack.
I missed it. Did he got stunned up by?
Yeah, by the Centaur. It canceled his invis. I guess he was gemmed anyways. Didn't quite matter. It was just funny. It was like the final FU. Alright, Boogie's just hiding in the trees.
He's pulling the Trixie. They haven't seen him yet. Like he's right there. I sort of wish we had our old observer features where you could watch like the hero in the fog of war.
Yeah.
We don't have that. I know what Boogie's waiting for though. Like, he could blink and shock the wave when it hits 30 seconds, but
He doesn't want to die here.
no.
Dies here, and he drops the wards, and they just kill it and push it back. And that really opens up the map for RoX. This is so weird. Both teams kind of have a win condition. I just think it's easier for RoX to commit theirs, because their two cores are strong.
It seems like the biggest hurdle that RoX could have is just the decision making.
Yeah, exactly.
When do you push, when do you fight, and when do you defend?
You have to be really patient and hope that both teams are just waiting for a slip up right now. If Stark overcommit for anything and they die,
then the opening is there for RoX to push.
yeah, exactly.
And they can get a counter rack then, because that's like right now what's helping Stark do this. Wait, does he kill the trees with this TP? Yeah. Oh. Okay. Wait. That teleportation scroll gives you vision when you do that, right? Is that what it saw through the tree line? Because they had no idea until they did that TP.
Oh, that is unfortunate. Okay, so they finally catch up again. Stark's like, alright guys, split push time again.
We'll push in through the top lane. That tier 3 tower has been nibbled away a little bit.
They need travels on their OD if they're gonna do this.
Blink dagger instead.
He's pushing out bottom, but they're just gonna lose their top area. They have to go back. They can't commit to this mid push.
Yep. You already seen the line being drawn up by the shaman. Yo, boys.
They're coming.
Yep.
You really can't afford to lose heroes here. Especially not the Invoker.
Dire's top tower.
Losing the Shadow Shaman is not the end of the world. He's gonna respawn fairly quickly, but losing the Invoker here.
Stark's just waiting for it. Varlix is probably in the most exposed position. He could potentially just force stuff himself deeper inside the tree line, but he's gonna TP out.
He doesn't want to lose the gem.
Yeah. I've been hoping for just a one hero pick, but he got no vision. Like the Dire Observer wards are up for now. Bottom lane is there a little bit longer, so now they actually, or was that actually what saw him? Maybe that could have been it that actually revealed the position of the shaman. By the way, Trixie's just playing around with Yol on the top. Something Yol can really do against Trixie, right? Because I suppose, like, what have you really got with the Lotus Orb? Like, what does the Lotus Orb trigger?
It's more just gets rid of stuff too, purges out. Right? Like if you go for the Hex, then you can purge it off.
Yep. Thinking like, what stops the initiation when he triggers it like he did?
I don't know if
Like,
you...
if Cedo came in an Omni Slash, then it would make sense.
You can use it as a purge off too, though. It's pretty good dual function. Oh, this is such an awkward position for both teams.
They're
Trixie
waiting.
might get spotted here. Yeah.
Blink, Burrow, Lotus Orb is up, they mass Serpent more, they get the Hexes off too, but then Yol, he had the Aghanim Scepter only just completed on the Earth Spirit, turns Juggernaut to stone, and escapes the kill, and the mass Serpent wards are now wasted.
It's like, nope.
Double damage.
Good play by him. It was smart though. Like the Earth Spirit knew that something sneaky was gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what Stark was waiting for, an opportunity like that, Toby, where they split a little bit, they get a little bit too comfortable with the rhythm of the game, then all of a sudden you open up an opportunity.
Guys, that's full team in the chat telling us like it's because they placed the wards. Cedo. Well, he's gonna spin. Actually blinked over to get aggressive, and Nenfi, that's a big pick off. The Invoker down. He does have a buyback available, but this is just space created. Then again, the same could be said about top lane. Trixie's just creep skipping it.
Oh yeah, they did just place that word. I had no idea what you were talking about, Toby. I'm not gonna lie. I should have just been upfront with you. When you were just like, the TP vision, I was like...
I don't, like, the TP actually grants you vision when you do something like that?
I don't think that far in. But I just went with it, Toby. I'm not about to call you out in front of all these people.
Do it, Blitz, I'm fine. I actually can take it.
Sometimes, like, you told me that, and I was just like, yeah, sure. I was just like, okay, I'll go with it.
I'll go with it.
Sometimes, like, you told me that, and I was just like, yeah, sure. I was just like, okay, I'll go with it. Sometimes, like, you told me that, and I was just like, yeah, sure. I was just like, okay, I'll go with it. It's wrong, whatever. I just gave you some blind trust, and it didn't pay off.
No, it did not.
Now we both just look like fools. Alright, so... The Roshan is taken, but... Stark's kind of okay with that, just because... As long as you keep executing this game plan. At the same time, they're finally getting aggressive. Their OD needs travels, though, if they're gonna do this. Because he has to be the one to push in that top wave. Then he can meet the rest of his team. And this might actually be for Stark. They're gonna have to fight now.
Blink.
Oh no, not for you!
Again! Now they shackle on the Earth Spirit, but no, there's another one. The Fortune's gonna get him out this one. They're expending a lot of damage into Yol. The Fiend Strip as well from Barley's trying to keep this Earth Spirit out of play for BZZ. He just does so much work. The BKB didn't protect enough. Trixie is down. There is no real push coming in from the side lanes. Again, they go for the kicker, and they found the gyrocopter. Both have buyback, so Stark can defend this lane. But it's going to be costly.
This is your moment, though. You still have the Aegis. Your Juggernaut has his ultimate up now. You're in really good fighting shape. Oh man, Nemphy's immediately. You notice he's just saying, "Screw this. I gotta go for this." He's got Boots to travel up. The Sand King's gonna be the buyback. They're just gonna send the Juggernaut and the OD up.
But they have BTs and wards over on the Shadow Shaman. So he did actually go for that build.
If he decides to go for that though, it's risky.
Oh, you gotta hope he finishes BT on that Forge Spirit. Yeah, Nemphy jumps forward. They can go directly in for the Hex, but already RoX, they are here to punish Stark. But what have you really done? Like, you haven't expended any of your buybacks, apart from the one over on Trixie, and now he's gonna look for a kill out of here. Look at the Lotus Orb of Babel. They're trying to kick back Zeke, but not gonna be possible. Nemphy's back in. The Sunstrike.
He just keeps getting rocked.
Just stoning him right now. And Zeke, another kick. Trixie, he's gonna let the ulti rip.
Yol.
Now Yol doesn't get crap either. The Fortune's dead. It's just a battle of balance right now.
Yeah, this is the best thing ever.
The scales. Finally, the Earth Spirit dropped from maximum. BZZ, however, now he's come back all the way from top lane. 2 hits to kill off the Bane.
Man, that was the best thing ever.
Really? Really? That's what you consider the best thing ever?
I enjoyed that fight immensely. It took them so long to kill 2 support heroes. That was almost all their cores ready to fight. That was so well done by RoX. Bought enough time for that to happen. Ups to them.
Trixie has got to get the hell out of here. He doesn't have a TP scroll available. Looks like back in mid, they're fighting against the gyrocopter. He's got his BKB. Now he'll... Oh, no, he can't get anything off. Buyback is available. Both BKB to be expended. Boogie goes for the wards. He needs to get the shackles over from C-Doi, but the Astral Imprisonment from BZZ. Another disengage is available. And they just blink him. Well, no. BZZ, the Tornado Boogie. He's so low. And the Ed's actually locked inside the walls. Again, the false promise will keep BZZ alive, but do they have enough? Trixie, the blink Burrow Strike. COD, can this bastard finally pop? No, he can't. They'll imprison him up. The Omni Slash gets to get it work. It was actually Trixie, I believe, who actually got a little bit into that one. C-Doi, Fiend stripped out. 99 seconds for him on the sideline. The Aegis the Immortal went for BZZ, and they want to keep the chase going. That damn Sigil, however, makes it impossible for them to chase after him.
Man, that was so rough. BZZ just decided he thinks to himself, okay, I've got the Aegis, I can blink forward aggressively like this, but they weren't able to kill. He did force out the buyback though from the gyrocopter, and that's probably the most significant buyback. Is the majority of their damage, but they're going back to their roots, splitting up the map as best they can, because they just have to buy time. It looks like they're gonna try to get aggressive here with the Juggernaut down, at minimum force the buyback. Does have it available unbeknownst to them, but still, this is a good opportunity for them to at least get a little bit more aggressive than they have so far in the game. There's no other objective for them to go for too. There's no Roshan or anything.
The jumping. Nemphy Hex up, but then he gets freed. BKB up, Trixie. So he actually goes in for the Burrow Strike. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't have
he misses the
ulti. It only really hurts Varlic out of this one. Now BZZ shackled up. He took the Fortune's end on him. Now he'll lose their Shadow Shaman. The Gyrocopter, he needs to get a stand, but he just can't do it. There's too much damage from RoX. 3 heroes down for Stark. Now the epicenter from Trixie, but really there's nothing else left. They just stone him up again. Meanwhile, on bottom lane, that was where the BT came in from the Invoker after he bought back. Add the pressure in through bottom, keep RoX kits on the defense, and allow Stark time to respawn, because that's what they're playing for now. It's the battle against the clock.
Full 70 seconds on both their 1 position and their 3 position. They pretty much have to get aggressive to be able to hold this. They're not going to be able to do it with just the Bane and the Invoker. So the Invoker's doing everything he can to kind of continue to apply pressure, but the Juggernaut will just TP in mid. He's eating moon shards. He's got the buyback available for himself too. Oh no, he used it actually for top, huh? But it's the OD that still has it. The OD still has travels and buyback. They know for a fact that the Gyrocopter doesn't have it. The second they're going to realize that... Oh, the Sand King's got it on cooldown too. Yeah, this is just... Okay,
Vane's the only one with buyback, man.
this is like a near impossible hold.
Feels that way.
The Invoker just used it too. It's literally just...
You can slow him down with the wards at least, and well, until that happens, playing forward, Seedoy Omnislash is available, but he's going to get Nightman up underneath the tier 4 towers, get 15 script as well. Not possible to do because you've still got so much disengaged from RoX. They spent a lot of time just chasing these kills onto the tier 4 towers. They're only going to get one lane of racks, so Stark can at least keep it even on that front. And the question is, does RoX stick around?
RoX still have to be
over
careful. Seedoy doesn't have buyback. They don't want to get over aggressive. Both the heroes dead. That was a good opportunity for them, but they can continue to play a little bit more safe, and this alleviates a lot of the pressure that they once felt now that they're evened up on racks.
Yep. I'm wondering if you're almost in that point of the game now where you look for one Rapier on Gyrocopter because he's got the Demon Edge at the moment, and two, you think about going for a GG push.
I think yes to the Rapier at this point. There's no Butterfly on the side of RoX. ALS doesn't do too much for you. Going for the Rapier at this point. He just doesn't do enough damage with that Scotty build. They need him to pump out more so that during their short-term disables, they're actually able to kill one of the cores. They're having to deal with a lot though. You've got the Astral Imprisonment, you've got the Stone Form.
Oh, y'all just found the Gyrocopter, just kick him. Going for the goals, Seedoy. Gyro isolated himself from the creep waves. Now the Omnislash is going to work. Trixie is still here. He'll go for the Virus Rack and try and buy some space, but it's just not enough. The Gyro is down. Trixie should be lost as well because they've got the gem. There's no hiding inside the Sandstorm. And look at Pookie. He's just making a break.
Make a run for it.
He's trying to go in for the mid rack. Throws down the Mount Serpent Walls, but the backdoor regeneration still turns on. It at least brings RoX Kiss back to defend, so they'll end up killing off Boogie here. He sacrifices himself for the greater good.
They get nothing out of that though, and they had to commit both the wards and the Necronomicons. That's going to make this split push a lot weaker from Nemphy. And with both the cores down, they can just start going for mid, and that's what BZZ's already there for. He's telling his team, okay guys, with everybody down, let's just go for it. Butterfly now completed on the Juggernaut. After he pushes out top a little, in 2 seconds he can TP in things out. He does so much damage. This is going to be a guaranteed minimum a set of Rex. Can't take the top one because luckily the tier 2 tower is still alive, but...
They gotta scramble the defense right now. 27 seconds. No fortification. Nice EMP Tornado may be able to slow down this push from RoX.
Is under attack.
He's going to need to hit this perfectly without getting caught out himself. Omnislash is at least a long cooldown.
I don't think you fight until your other two heroes are up. You just sack this Rex. You know that they can't take Mega Creeps, and that's the biggest thing. You can.
There's the smoke. Nemphy jumps out. But he starts on BZZ. Actually burns his BKB already. Goes into the Cold Snap change up on the Oracle, but there's no follow-up damage. Like Nemphy saw an opening, but the rest of his team just was not with him. And Yo's now looking for his chance. BZZ blinks forward with the BKB. They get the Hex over of that Invoker. A BZZ's fine. Nemphy 4-stars out. He does go down. The Oracle finds the kill. No buyback available. The Gyrocopter will go down too. That'll be the game right there. They've lost too many cores. Fiend scripts or not. You just have Yol now come in. Let everyone just get magnetized up. As RoX, they're just going to finish the game. In fact, Stark won't even force them to do that. They'll call the GG. And RoX in just under 52 minutes will take out the series 2-0.
There was just almost no way that they could kill the OD, and I think at one point, when Stark messed up the fight at bottom, they realized that the OD got way too huge. He had the BKB and the Hex. At that point, they decided to go for the split push Dota, but RoX dealt with it really well. They never really lost composure. They kept the ward vision up. They were able to get the pickoffs that they needed, and eventually they were just patient enough to take that. Plus, the Earth Spirit Aghanims was insane. That did so much work for them. They were able to avoid so much of the damage.
The timing of it too, like that gank when they had